This is Amud Yomi, Gemara in Berachos Daf Nun Vav Amud Aleph. We're holding in the top line of Nun Vav Amud Aleph, and we begin with a story that connects us back to the previous Amud. Amrli Kesar, the Rav Yeshua Rav Chanina. The Caesar said to Rav Yeshua Rav Chanina, Amrita de Chakmita Tuva. They say that you Jews are very wise. Tell me, what am I going to see in my dream tonight? Amrli Rav Yeshua said to him, Chazis, you're going to see Parsa. You're going to see that the Persians are going to make you work for the king. And they're going to grab you and force you into an area with pigs, with unclean animals. They're going to push you with a golden staff. Here, the whole day the Caesar was thinking that I'm going to be worried and I'm going to be put into the pasture with these pigs, with the thing. And you know what happened? That's indeed what he saw in the dream, proving that our dreams are often a manifestation of that which we thought about during the day. Continues the Gemara, Shmuel. King Shavar said to Shmuel, they say you're very smart. Tell me what I'm going to see in my dream. The Romans are going to come and take you captive, and they're going to force you to grind date pits with a golden mill. Guess what? So Shavar Malka the whole day is thinking about this fascinating thing. He's going to be put into capture. And then what happened? Well, Yorta Chaza, and the night he actually sees it. Says the Gemara, we spoke about in the previous Amudim that the way that we interpret a dream is the way that it happens. Says the Gemara, Bar Hedya. A story about 8 lines down. The first one line is Chazia. Bar Hedya Mefarsha Chalmehav. He was one who interpreted dreams. Man Diavli Igra. If someone gave him an Igra, someone paid him. Mefarsha Mal Yusa. He would interpret it for the good. Man Delo Yavli Igra. If someone didn't pay him, Mefarsha Igrusa. Then he would interpret it for the bad. Very simple. You pay, you get what you pay for. So Abaye v'Rava Chazah Chalma. Abaye Aviyavli Zuzah. Abaye was v'Rava Lo Yavli. Rava didn't pay him. Amruleh, they told him, Akrina B'Chelma, in our dreams, we saw the following pasuk. Sharcha tuva tavuach le'inecha. The Rav Amruleh, you know what the pasuk teaches you about an ox being slaughtered before your eyes? Pasid iska, your business will fail, and you won't have anything to eat. You won't have any interest in eating. But Abaye, he paid for the interpretation. He said, Marvach iskech, your business is going to prosper. And because you're so happy, you can have no interest in eating. So we see the same thing could be twisted both ways. Bar Hedya, if he got paid, he would twist it for the good. Amruleh, so Rav and Abaye said to him, 1 second, Akrina, in our dream, you know what else we saw? Pasuk Banu Bana's toilet will have children. So Rav and Amruleh Kivishusa. Rav Bar Hedya said, you know what it's talking about? It's negative that your children will be taken for you by other people as the pasuk ends off that they're going to go to captivity. L'Abaye Amruleh, Abaye says, Banecha benasich nefisha, you'll have many children. Umenasa benasich la'alman, you'll get married to children, to husbands from other parts of the world. Umedamyon ba'abach, and the children will live so far away, will appear as if they're taken in captivity. Once again, proving that the same pasuk, the same theme could be twisted both ways. And finally, a third pasuk, your children will be given to other people. They said, you'll have many children. And when you want to find them, you're going to say that they should be given to marriage to your relatives. Vihi Amra, and your wife's going to say, Likriva, I want them to marry my relatives. And eventually your wife will coerce you. And you'll give them to her relatives. And they're considered like an Amacher. Again, a beautiful interpretation to marry within family. But Rava Amrle, what do you say to Rava? Your wife will die, and your sons and daughters will come to the hands of another woman, a stepmother. Again, a similar translation, but into the negative. Amar Rava, Amar Rav Yirmi Barabba, Amar Rav. On the last narrow, medium-sized line, Rava taught in the name of Yirmi Barabba, the name of Rav. What is the meaning of the pasuk? So these were the 3 psukim that Rava and Abaye saw in a dream of Bar Hedya to Abaye, who paid, translated them favorably, to Rav, who did not, translated them negatively. Continues the Gemara, the first very wide line. Abaye and Rava said a fourth pasuk. We saw in a dream. Go to your bread with joy. Your business will do well. You'll eat and you'll drink. In your heart, you're going to rejoice and you're going to cite the pasuk that you just said. No. Pasid is you're going to lose your business. Tavachta, and you're going to slaughter food to eat. You're going to have no appetite to eat and drink. And because you're going to be so depressed, you're going to recite this pasuk, hoping, I wish we was able to eat and drink. And a fifth pasuk, Akrin and Zera Zerav, Totzi Asada, Bain Rava said, a pasuk, Tober Hedya, Labaya Amr Le Meresha. Tabai Berachos interpreted the first part of the pasuk, which means that he'll have a lot of money. Rav Amr Le Mesei for the end of the pasuk, which means that he'll try very hard, but he won't be able to earn all the money. And a sixth dream, you'll have olives in your all boundaries. From the first part of the pasuk, that he's going to have a lot of food, a lot of money. The Rav Amr Le Mesei that all his money is going to be lost. Vakrina on a seventh pasuk, seventh dream. We'll see him. Said your name will spread far and wide. You'll become a Rosh Yeshiva. Amos Nafla Ba'alma, and the world will hold you in such awe and kavod. The Rav Amar lay the opposite. But Daina Demalke, it's for the king's treasury will be broken into. And you, Rava, they're going to arrest as the thief. And everyone's going to learn from you. And they're going to be fearful based on you. So in a similar way, that it will be spread everywhere, but obviously in the negative. Lamachar, after all this happened the next day, the following day, the king's treasury was indeed broken into. The Rav, and they grabbed Rav, seeing that the dream, the interpretation of our Hedya, is indeed the way that it played out on the sixth very wide line. Amruleh, they said to him, Rav and Abaye, back to Barhedia, Chazan Chasal Pundina. We saw lettuce on the mouth of a keg. Labai Amruleh to Abaye said, if Iskach Kichasa, your business will double. You'll be prosperous like lettuce, very profitable. Rav Amruleh, Mar Iskach Kichasa, your business will be bitter like lettuce. What's lettuce? That it stacks beautifully on top of each other. That was Abaye, that'll prosper beautifully. Amruleh, Abaye and Rava said to Barhedia, Chazan Bisra Pumdina, we saw meat on a keg. Labai Amruleh, Basas Chamrach, your wine will be aromatic, it'll be beautiful, great wine. Vaskuli Amruleh, Misa Bisa Chamrach Minach. And everyone's going to want to purchase meat and wine from you. The Rav Amruleh, Takil Chamrach, your wine is going to be sour. Vaskuli Amruleh, Misa Bisa Lemechaleh, and everyone's going to want to buy meat and eat with it because your wine is so bad. Amruleh, Abaye and Rava said to Barhedia, Chazin Chavit in our dream, we see barrels that are hanging in a palm tree. Labai Amruleh Tabai Barhedia explained, Medali Ischach Beditla, your merchandise will grow to very large heights like a palm tree. Rav Amruleh Chali Ischach Betamra will be sweet like the dates. Amruleh, and we continue. We're about 10 lines into the wide lines. First line is Madli Chazan Rumana de Kadech Hapum Dana. We saw pomegranates growing from the mouth of a keg. Your items, your merchandise will be expensive like a pomegranate. You'll sell it, you'll make a lot of money. The Rav Amruleh Kava Ischach Kirumana, your merchandise will be sour like a pomegranate. Amruleh, they said to Barhedia, Chazan Chavita Dinafal Lebira. We saw a barrel that falls into a pit. Labai Amruleh Misbai Iskach. Your merchandise will be, everyone will want it. As they say, that bread fell into the pit and we can't find it. Meaning everyone's looking for it, everyone wants your stuff. But Rav Amruleh, the opposite, Pasuk Ischach, your merchandise will be ruined, Vishatzli Lebira, and it will be thrown into a pit. Amruleh, they continue telling Barhedia, Chazina Bar Chamr Dekaya Istan Vinoyer. In a dream, we saw a young donkey that was standing near our heads, and the young donkey was making noises. Labai Amruleh Malka Havis. Abaye said, you're going to be a king, you're going to be the Rosh Yeshiva of a Kamayalach. And you're going to have someone next to you will announce, like the speaker, to tell everyone what you're saying. That's the sounds of the donkey. Rav Amruleh, no, Pater Chamar God b'tvilach. The word Pater Chamar are erased from your tefillin. Amruleh, Rava said, so what do you mean? I looked at my tefillin and all the words are there. Amruleh Barhedia says, Vav, the Pater Chamar, Vadi God b'tvilach. The Vav is erased from your tefillin. So end of all of these incredible stories, all these horrible translations, all Saif Azal Rava, L'chudei Ligabe. eventually Rava goes by himself without a bayit to Bar Hedya. Tells him a dream. Amar lei chazui dasha baraisa denafel. I saw the door of my house fell. Amar lei yishtachashich. Bar Hedya says your wife is going to die. Amar lei chazui kacha. The shinai dinator. And Rava says, I have another dream that my molders and my teeth are falling out. When your children are going to die. Rava said, two doves flying away. Taking divorce two wives. I saw two heads of a turnip. You'll receive two blows with a stick. Says the Gemara. Azal Rava. On that day, Rava went and he sat in the yeshiva the whole day. There were two blind people that have come into Badi Adadi. In the yeshiva, two guys were fighting with each other. So Rava went, also Rava went to try to separate them. And guess what? Rava Trey, and Rava got hit two times. They raised another time to hit him, and Rava said, two is enough for my dream. The Gemara is showing that the interpretation of our Hedya actually came true. And finally, eventually Rava comes and he pays Bar Hedya. Now Rava tells him a dream. I see that the walls of my house will collapse. Bar Hedya says, you're going to have properties without any boundaries. Givaldik. Rava said in my dream, I see the mansions of Abaye have fallen and I'm covered in dust. Amr Berachos says, Abaye Shacham Sifta Asli Gabach, and you became the Rosh Yeshiva. Amr Lech Hazaya Bana Didi Dinafel. Rava said, in my dream I see that my mansion has fallen. Vasa Kuliyama, and everyone came. Shakal Lebeita Lebeina, and he took away many of the bricks. Amr Berachos says, Shamatzcham Bivadran Ba'alma, that your teachings will spread throughout the whole world. That's what it means. They're taking all your bricks. Amr Lech Hazaya Devika Reshe. I see that my head split open. V'natar Maikri, my brain fell out. Amr Berachos says, Udra Mibeisad Yanafik. Feathers have come out of your pillow of your bed. The Egyptian hollow was said to me in a dream. He says, you're going to have miracles. So now, after Bar Hedya gave all these terrible interpretations to Rav, then Rava paid him and he gave all these Gavaldic interpretations. One time Bar Hedya was traveling together with Rav on a boat. So Bar Hedya said, why do I have to travel to someone who a miracle will happen? Perhaps the miracle was going to come. And guess what? Bar Hedya was nervous that the boat is going to sink. And Rava will be saved, and he's going to drown. So Bar Hedya wanted to leave the boat. A book fell. Rava saw that in the book it was written, everything goes by the way that it was in the mouth, the way it's paid for. Amar, so Rava said to Bar Hedya, Rasha! You gave me so much pain. I forgive you for everything. Bar mibrati de Rav Chisda, except for the daughter of Rav Chisda, who was Rava's wife, who died. Rava should be the will that this man Bar Hedya should be given over to the government. They should have no rachmanis on him. Amar Bar Hedya said, "My Avid, what should I do? Gemiri, we have a tradition. The clothes is going to come. Kolshkein Rava, the Bedina Kalayit, just as he cursed me. Amar Eikav Egli, the Bedina Kalayit." Excuse me, Divina de Kalayit, Amr Eikav Eglis, where he says, I'm going to go into Golos. Amr Mar, Golos Bechaperes Avain. We're going to have to pick it up from here. I'm finishing the story of Bar Hedya the next year. Pisiyata Dishmaya.